It was a rainy evening when it all began, the kind of evening that made the world feel quieter than usual, as if the clouds themselves were trying to hush the world. Thick gray clouds stretched endlessly across the sky, swallowing the last traces of sunlight. The sound of rain formed a soft, endless rhythm as it tapped gently against the windows, and outside, the streetlights flickered like tired stars fighting to stay awake. Inside a small, modest house that smelled faintly of old books, damp wood, and forgotten time, 12-year-old Adam sat on the cold wooden floor, surrounded by dusty cardboard boxes, scattered photo albums, and papers that had yellowed with age. The storage room he was cleaning had been left untouched for years, a quiet graveyard of memories his mother had never wanted to revisit. At first, Adam felt bored. It felt like just another meaningless chore. But sometimes, it's the most ordinary moments that quietly reshape a life forever. As he pushed aside torn blankets and old-school notebooks, his fingers brushed against something unexpected, something cold, something solid. A small, metal case lay hidden deep beneath the mess. Its surface was scratched, worn, and dull, as if it had traveled through time, place, and fear. It felt heavier than it looked, not because of its weight, but because of the silence wrapped around it.
And it was locked. Adam hesitated.
A part of him whispered that he should put it back, that he should forget he ever saw it. But curiosity has a way of pulling harder than fear ever could. With shaky fingers, Adam found a bent hairpin and slipped it into the rusted lock. The metal resisted for a moment, then snapped open.
Click.
The sound echoed like thunder inside his chest. Inside the case were things Adam could not understand. Passports with different names, unfamiliar countries stamped in bold ink, photographs of his mother standing beside people he had never seen, and thick envelopes stuffed with handwritten letters written in neat, careful handwriting. His mother, Sarah, had always been ordinary in Adam's eyes. She packed his lunch every morning. She kissed his forehead before school. She stayed up late helping with homework. She was soft, warm, familiar. But in those photographs, she looked like someone else. Her eyes weren't soft. They were sharp. Her smile wasn't gentle. It was controlled. She didn't look like a mother. She looked like someone prepared for danger. That night, Adam couldn't sleep. Rain tapped against the windows like impatient fingers. Thunder rolled softly in the distance. Every time he closed his eyes, the images returned, the passports, the letters, the photographs. Who was she before she was just mom? Why were there fake names? Why were there people in her life he'd never heard about? The questions felt louder than the storm. The next day, Adam looked at everything differently. The house felt different. The silence felt heavier. He started watching. He noticed the way his mother checked the door locks every night, not once, but twice. He noticed the way she went quiet whenever crime reports came on the television. He noticed the thin scar on her wrist she always covered with long sleeves. He noticed how she always chose seats facing the door when they went out to eat. Slowly, painfully, Adam realized that what he once thought was normal was actually fear disguised as routine. Weeks passed, and curiosity turned into obsession. One afternoon, when the city felt unusually gray and still, Adam made a decision he could never undo. He followed her. From a distance, he watched her walk through crowded markets, busy sidewalks, and narrow streets filled with people who looked like they carried secrets of their own. This wasn't the world he knew. This wasn't his quiet neighborhood. The air here felt different, sharper, louder, more dangerous. She walked with confidence, but also with caution. She stopped in front of a building that looked like it had been forgotten. Cracked windows, peeling paint, a door barely hanging from rusted hinges. Adam's heart pounded so loudly he thought it might expose him. From across the street, hidden behind a broken wall, he watched. A man in a long black coat approached. He went inside after her. Fear climbed into Adam's throat. His legs wanted to run, but his heart pushed him forward. Inside, the air smelled of rust, dust, and cold metal. Through broken walls, he could see their silhouettes. He couldn't hear their words clearly, but He could see everything on her face. She wasn't scared. She was focused. She was controlled. She was ready. That night, Adam ran home before she could see him. His lungs burned. His legs trembled. When she came home later, she was quieter than usual. Too quiet. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into secrets. Adam began living two lives. By day, he was a student, a normal boy, laughing with friends, answering questions in class. By night, he became someone else, a watcher, a listener, a quiet shadow. He searched through drawers. He lifted old mattresses. He read journals never meant for him. And then one night, everything changed. Beneath the floorboard, under dust and silence, Adam found a thick folder. Inside were old newspaper clippings. Yellowed. Brittle. Headlines spoke of a woman who had disappeared years ago after exposing a powerful criminal organization. Words like brave, dangerous, and threat covered the page. The photograph was blurred, but unmistakable. It was her. Her real name wasn't Sarah. She hadn't been running from nothing. She had been running from everything. She had once lived a dangerous life, collecting evidence, exposing corruption, risking her life so others could live without fear. She wasn't just a mother. She was a whistleblower, a survivor, a ghost. Adam felt his world collapse and rebuild itself in the same breath. That evening, he could no longer pretend. "Mama, who are you really?" The words fell into the air like thunder trapped inside a small room. His mother froze. For a long moment, silence filled the space between them. Then she sat beside him, slowly, as if her strength had drained away. Her eyes filled with tears she had carried for years. And she told him everything. About the threats, the midnight escapes, the coded phone calls, the fake names. She told him about changing cities, burning old identities, and learning to sleep with fear. She had lost friends, lost family, lost the life she once knew. "I just wanted you to be safe," she whispered, "to have a normal life." Adam felt no anger, only heartbreak, only love, only understanding. But the story didn't end there. One late night, a black car appeared outside their home. Its engine stayed on. Its headlights cut through the darkness like sharp knives of light. Someone had found them. The past had caught up. His mother didn't scream.
She didn't panic.
She simply opened a hidden bag under the bed, already prepared. Inside, money, backup documents, folded maps, and a second phone Adam had never seen. She moved with experience, with memory. She had done this before. Adam stood in the doorway, realizing that his childhood had just ended. The house was no longer safe. The walls no longer protected him. There were no more secrets, only survival. They left through the back door. Rain touched Adam's face. Cold air filled his lungs. The world felt bigger, darker, and more dangerous than ever before. A car waited at the corner. Inside sat someone who knew this life. They drove away. Streetlights flashed over their faces. Adam looked at his mother. Really looked. She wasn't just the person who packed his lunch. She wasn't just the woman who checked his homework. She was brave. She was broken. She was strong. She was human. The years that followed were filled with movement. New cities. New schools. New names. Adam learned silence. He learned exits. He learned how to read danger in a room. Sometimes, late at night, he would hear his mother crying when she thought he was asleep. Not from weakness, from exhaustion. She had given up everything. Her friends, her family, her home, all for him. Years passed. Adam grew older. The fear didn't control him. It shaped him. He understood now what she had done. She hadn't just exposed criminals. She had exposed systems. She had scared powerful people. And powerful people never forget. One quiet night, many years later, rain tapped once again against the window of another borrowed home. Adam sat by the glass. He wasn't afraid anymore. He wasn't confused. He wasn't lost. He was grateful. He finally understood. His childhood hadn't been stolen. It had been protected. His mother had not lied. She had shielded him. She had carried pain, so he wouldn't have to. He walked into the next room. She was sitting at a small table. Older now, tired hands, a familiar face. He sat beside her. For the first time, there were no questions. No fear. He placed his hand gently over hers. She looked at him, and for the first time, she cried freely. Not from
Fear.
not from pain, but from relief. In that quiet room, as rain whispered against the glass, Adam understood the truth. This story was never really about danger. It was about love. Real love. The kind that runs. The kind that hides. The kind that disappears into the dark, just to keep someone safe. And as the storm outside slowly softened, as the clouds began to break, as the rain turned into a gentle mist, Adam finally realized his mother was never hiding from him. She was hiding the world from him.